26th week development of the baby during pregnancy. Let's begin with the height and the weight. Last week, baby's height was around 13.5 inches, while this week the baby's height would be around 14 inches. Last week, baby weighed around 700 grams, while this week the baby is going to weigh almost 1000 grams. The baby's eyes are forming now and it would soon be opening and closing them. The eyes are blue, but this will often change after birth. The irises don't display their final color until a few months after birth. So the development of the baby's eyes is almost complete, and although it still remains very lean, fat is definitely building underneath the skin and will continue to do so until birth. The fetal heart is pumping blood, the lungs are developing blood vessels, and the circulatory system is fully functional. The umbilical cord continues to grow stronger and thicker and provides the baby with all essential nutrients. As we have also already seen in the past few weeks, the baby is taking a lot of breaths now, though they are not yet of oxygen but that of amniotic fluid. Baby's immune system is developing too. Now this development consists primarily of absorbing your antibodies to be ready for the outside world. Baby's brain is maturing rapidly and it is growing quickly. The baby's movements are also stronger now and they can also be painful at times. If at all a foot or an elbow gets out of place and you feel uncomfortable, you can often push it back to a more comfortable position. Baby's network of nerves to its ears is complete now. So the response to sound is more consistent towards the end of the 7th month. So we get the message that we better be careful when we are chatting. All we know, baby may be hearing us. 27th week development of the baby during pregnancy. Let's begin with the height and the weight. Last week, baby's height was around 14 inches, while this week the baby's height would be around 14.6 inches. Last week, baby's weight was almost 1000 grams. This week, the baby's weight would be around 1150 grams. The baby is now practicing inhaling and exhaling with its developing lungs. It is breathing amniotic fluid and not air. The lungs will, however, continue to develop till the end of pregnancy. The baby begins to show more brain activity now, and it will continue to do so in the next few weeks. The tissues and grooves in baby's brain continue to form. The eyes continue to develop, the layers of the retina are forming, and the membrane that covers the eyes separates to form eyelids. At times, you may detect rhythmic movements in your tummy now. These are nothing but an attack of hiccups. These usually pass in moments and they would be common now and throughout the pregnancy. The baby is opening and closing its eyes now. It is also developing a regular pattern of waking and sleeping. It may also be sucking its thumb or finger. Experts believe that at this point, babies even start dreaming. 28th week development of the baby during pregnancy. Let's begin with the height and the weight of the baby. Last week, baby's height was around 14.6 inches. This week, baby's height would be around 14.9 inches. Coming to the weight of the baby, last week, baby's weight was around 1150 grams. This week, baby's weight would be around 1200 grams. Now this week, if you were to go for an ultrasound, you would find that the baby looks quite plump. And this is because the fat continues to build underneath the skin. The lungs of the baby are now developed enough, and the baby would be likely to survive if it were to be born today. The eyes have opened and the eyebrows and eyelids are fully formed, and even the eyelashes are now visible. The enzyme system and the endocrinological processes are still developing. So the baby is now getting used to blinking its eyes, and it would also turn its head if it were to notice a continuous bright light shining outside mom's body. The bones are nearly developed, though they are still soft and pliable. The bones won't harden properly until the baby is born. The brain tissue continues to develop folds and grooves on what was once a smooth surface. Now, as your baby moves around, you may feel the kicks and punches more frequently. 29th week development of the baby during pregnancy. Let's begin with the height and the weight. Last week baby's height was around 14.9 inches. This week baby's height would be around 15.5 inches. Last week baby weighed around 1200 grams, while this week the baby would weigh around 1400 grams. Now, as the baby is putting on weight, it is also becoming more and more energetic. You will find the movements getting more frequent now. It is often suggested that you take out time and start counting the kicks of your baby by now. The baby is supposed to kick you at least 10 times per hour by now. And if it so happens that you do not feel 10 kicks in 2 hours, do not ignore, please see your doctor. It is suggested that you have a little snack before you start counting, as the blood sugar rush gets the baby going. During the 29th week, the baby's kicks and punches may be hard enough to cause severe pain. The movements and kicks are happening frequently at this point, which are good signs that the baby is doing well. Sometimes these kicks and movements can cause rib pain, pelvic pain, and unintentional loss of urine. This high activity does not usually last throughout the pregnancy and will become less frequent as the baby grows and has more limited space to move around. You may notice that the baby's growth is causing increased hunger in you, as the baby is using up most of the nutrients you consume to grow more. Rapid brain development began last week and continues this week. The muscles and lungs continue to mature and hearing has improved greatly. The baby's head is getting bigger to make room for his developing brain. All babies react to sound and light by the end of this week. The baby still has a long way to go and gain a lot of weight. At times you may also feel that you have just finished your meal and you're still hungry. 30th week of pregnancy today. So let's begin with the height and the weight of the baby. Last week baby's height was around 15.5 inches. This week baby's height would be around 16 inches. Coming to the weight of the baby, last week baby's weight was around 1400 grams. This week baby's weight would be around 1600 grams. Now, if you were to see your baby, you would find that it has a wrinkled appearance. But as the fat tissues continue to build underneath the skin, baby's skin would smooth out. Fine, soft, fuzzy hair called lanugo still covers baby's body. Baby's brain starts developing the wrinkles on it. Due to brain development, it can regulate its body heat better. As the brain matures, it also begins to train the eyes, muscles, and lungs to function on their own. The digestive tract is fully functional by the time it is 30th week, as the baby continues to take nutrients from you and process them. About a liter of amniotic fluid surrounds the baby, and this volume would decrease as the baby gets bigger. There may be times when you feel breathless because of the uterus pressing against the diaphragm. The baby is opening and shutting its eyes. It can probably see what's going on outside. If you were to shine a light on your stomach, the baby would probably move. This was all I had to tell you about the 30th week development of the baby during pregnancy. See you soon again in 31st week. Celebrate life, celebrate pregnancy. Given below is our email ID. Do send in your queries and feedback to us. Also, do subscribe to our channel. Breathe, chill, relax. Thanks for watching.